This live stream is being brought to you by Reed Spring High School's Advanced Video Production Media Team. Thank you for watching and enjoy the event.
Tonight's stream is being brought to you by Millennium Bowl, where the good times roll, and Kay's Coffee, where relaxation brews.
Welcome back to Woods Football. This week we're taking on the Aurora Houn Dawgs. Last week coming off a loss, a big loss against Cassville, losing by I believe 40 points. We also lost a few notable players such as Cody Hughes. He was brought out of the game in the third quarter, breaking his arm. As you can see, he's our main featured back for the whole year he has been. As well as Parker Barrington being out and quite a few others. Colby Stewart's still out. But luckily this game is going to be much more competitive, I feel like, based on what we've seen from Aurora. They are 2-6 from this week, and they've played a few teams we have too. I believe they lost to Hollister, and we did beat them by quite a bit. Philip, what do you think we're going to have to do to win this game?
Well, Ross, we're going to have to overcome a whole lot of adversity from this past week, losing a lot of players and making some adjustments this week in practice. These guys have a lot of talent, and they're going to be able to adjust. I think they're ready. I'm not going to say it's an easier team, but they haven't been quite as successful as some others we've played this season, so I'm looking forward to that.
Some change-ups in position this week as well. Ben Moeller going to be a kind of a back, third down back, going for those short yardage situations, as well as Colton Cramblett is out this week still, and that is going to be Seth Stamps kicking field goals, as well as punting, where Colton Cramblett would usually do that.
Yeah, we're going to have some different guys playing a lot of different positions, such as, look, we have Matt Allison filling in at halfback as Seth Stamps takes some reps at fullback. Going to be fun to see him there at halfback, as well as Joey Hembry and Brandon Akins at the tackle positions for the offense. That's going to be fun to watch.
He took a break from starting the past couple weeks, he was kind of beat out by Parker Barrington. But, he's really stepped back up and filled the role that he needed to fill to where the coaches were wanting him at the beginning of the year and filling those in.
With Barrington back out with a concussion, it always brings a big opportunity for other players to step up, show their worth when they're given the opportunity. Tyler
Carmody, I do believe, is out as well again from a concussion, too. A lot of concussions on the team right now.
Many concussions. Even we have one player that's been out for multiple weeks, Nate Cerny. He's been out for a while with concussions. We always look for the best from him, but having a hard time there.
He was out, I believe, the first or second week.
Well, we are here in Aurora, Ross, and Aurora, the home of Houn Dogs and good barbecue. They got a whole bunch of good restaurants downtown and old downtown Aurora, and I was I enjoy eating barbecue while I'm here, but tonight we're here for football, and these Aurora Hound Dogs are here to put up a fight, especially the last home game of the season, last regular season game of the season for everybody. As we get ready to go into districts, it's going to be a tough battle as both teams are going to bring all they've got for the last last game we got here.
Very much so. Here it is 51 degrees outside right now, but it feels more in the 40s because of the wind chill.
It's not just 51, it's a breezy, cold wind 51. Or I'm freezing out here in just a light hoodie.
Yes. Should be about to kick off, taking the field now. It is Aurora senior night as well. I heard they had 27 seniors in total. 27
seniors. That's going to make it a lot harder for them to back it up next year as we look for a lot of leadership from them. And with those 27 seniors, they're going to be leading this team as they attempt to take down the Reed Spring Wolves. Coming off of a 2-6 season, as Ross said, they're going to have to make up a lot of ground. But the Reed Spring having lost some players last week is going to really help Aurora's chances, not to be a little lopsided, but that's what's going to happen. As Aurora looks to be lining up for a kickoff. The Aurora Hound Dogs are coached by Craig Weldy, an Aurora graduate who played for Missouri State. He's a lifelong resident of Aurora and has a pretty nice cattle ranch up north of town. Waiting for the word by the referee to start the game.
Aurora is set to kick off right here. Right there, Al Chavez wearing a new number 4 this week. Blake Stamps is a ball carrier. Breaking multiple tackles. Brought down by a group of Hound Dogs right there. Big return there by Seth Stamps.
We see Cameron Essick out on the offense as I've been told he will not be starting on defense this week. So we're going to see what he's out to do on the offensive side of the ball. Looks like he's rounding up for wide receiver.
Or tight end as well. We've seen him play tight end and wide receiver this year.
A lot of guys making a lot of different positions work this time of year.
Especially this being the last regular season game. Going in next week will be preseason. I believe districts is first.
First district's competition leading into that postseason play. It's our last game to really get a feel for what our team can do in the postseason.
I've heard from multiple sources on the team that depending on if Marshfield loses or Castle loses again, we could be going into the preseason as a number 1 or 2 seed, depending on how everything falls.
You know, that really would be an advantage of being all the tough teams in our conference and district, I should say. It'd be a great advantage to have a home field advantage against them because, you know, Reed Spring, Carl Langley Field, we get that stadium rocking on Friday nights. We really want to have it home to have that atmosphere.
Very much so. Even here, it being cold out, we do still have a bunch of fans out here. Many people making the drive up. It looks like Seth Stamps was the ball carrier there. Correction, Blake Bronville did keep the ball and run it up the middle. That's going to be a gain of about 2 yards.
That's going to bring up a big third down.
3rd and 2. Hand off to Seth Stamps.
Hard running by Seth to pick up that first down.
That is good enough for a first down.
This Aurora defense, Ross, has had kind of a tough time holding back all the offenses this season. having given away 242 points the entire season, as opposed to Reed Spring's 183.
Now that's Reed Spring giving away only 183. How many points has Reed Spring scored this year?
Reed Spring has scored a staggering 229 points this season, as opposed to Aurora's 130. I talk about their defense, but their defense stepped up this last play, making a good stop in the backfield.
Still going to be 2nd and 10 right here. Looks like Cole Watson is lined up to the right side as a wide receiver, as well as Cameron Essick. It is a handoff.
Big old pile on that one.
Seth Stamps was the carrier again.
Now, Ross, we got to really pay attention to the weather tonight, as these colder temperatures, as I've experienced while playing myself, can really get your hands and arms real locked up and tight, and it hurts a lot more when you get hit by guys. So when those linemen go out to make those blocks, they got to really focus on their form, as we have almost a breakaway where Seth Stamps getting into the secondary, just barely being caught up.
That will bring up a Reed Spring first down.
As we talked about, Seth Stamps lining up. Oh, we got a flag on the field. But as I said, Seth Stamps lining up at fullback this week, starting after we've lost Cody Hughes and Colton Cramblett, our third fullback, who wasn't even playing fullback earlier in the season.
No, he did. However, he was healthy this all season, but ended up breaking his arm earlier this summer in July, I heard.
Who's that?
Colton Cramblett.
Colton Cramblett. Oh, my goodness.
And that is why he's out.
Huh. Oh, yes, he played with the injury, I understand, and it has come back to haunt him a little bit.
Always, showing what he can do for the team, what he wants to do.
The Hound Dogs make a good tackle on Blake Gronvold, making the first sack of the game.
Blake Gronvold was looking to throw it to Cole Watson, but Cole Watson got a little messed up on his route right there, ultimately leading to the sack of Blake Gronvold.
Looks like a couple of mistakes there on our offensive line, because we have our Coach Moeller out here telling our boys what we did wrong. So we can fix that later and come back with a better offensive blocking this next round.
Blake Gronvold did hand it off right there to Seth Stamps, being plummeted by the defensive line.
This Aurora defense, they run a similar defense. Oh, no, I shouldn't say that. They run a 4-3 defense with 4 defensive linemen and 3 defensive linebackers. And compared to many other defenses in our conference, they're really not that big, Ross. But they give a lot of effort, and they're pretty fast kids. So we like to see them try and run in and break things up before they get going, because with that speed they have and size to get through things, we hope to see them, or we don't hope to see them, we look to see them try to get fast in there on us.
Yeah, speaking of that, JT Bailiff was the carrier right there. Blake Gronvold stepped back to pitch it to him. JT Bailiff ran off to the left side and was tackled before the first down, bringing up a 4th and looks about 5 yards.
Yeah, we're going to have a tough down here, but we're so close to the end zone, we're going to go for it as the offense lines up.
I feel like if we had Colton Cramblett in this week, he would try to kick the field goal.
Well, without that, we're going to have these guys running hard up the middle. Oh, we got a different call from Blake Gronvold coming from the sidelines. I was going to look for some 5 yards here to make the conversion to get 1st and goal.
He's going to hand it off right there to Seth Stamps, but is nowhere near the first down marker, and that's going to be a turnover on downs, Aurora's ball.
That'll be first down for Aurora after we missed it by, 2-3 yards probably?
Really looks like their defensive line on Aurora's side has stepped up so much this quarter, being that we've seen them get scored on plenty of times, but this looks like they may be one of the toughest defenses we've gone up against.
Well, Ross, we can't really say that this soon, because we've had a lot, and I mean a lot of defenses against us this year, and many of them have started off slow, then picked up later in the game. Plus,
looks like, although they look like they're coming off very strong right here, stopping us from getting a touchdown, we're ultimately the games we have not won, we have not scored on the first drives.
This Aurora offense, they run a very similar offense to Reed Spring, running that flex bone formation. They like to, however, they do not run with it as much as we do, quite as much. The quarterback, he likes to move the play around a little more than we do. And as you see him running outside, moving that play around.
Very fast, indeed. Right there, his name is Jay Lee.
That will be quarterback Ethan Moneyham. Oh, yeah, it is Jay Lee. Quarterback Jay Lee, who is a junior, number 12.
6 foot, 171 pounds. Very fast kid, as we saw right there. Break through a lot of defenders.
One of our coaches today, one of our coaches this week, I was talking to him about this Aurora team, and he did really express how their quarterback is able to get himself out of trouble and run to make a play worth something when things go bad.
Quarterback is going to keep it, but it's tackled by Seth Stamps by the legs.
Man, Ross, it's a good thing we have Seth Stamps in this football team. All these other guys getting hurt, and he's back here. He's making plays. He is the backbone of this team right now.
There is a flag on the play. It looks like it is on Aurora.
Ben Moeller heading up this defense, as we have seen many games before, looking to lead our defense to the end of the season. Without this kid, I don't know what we'd do as a defensive.
Ben Moeller as well as Grant Clark are really the leaders of the defense. Grant being a more vocal guy out there going, and Ben really being the brains of the defense. Ben a 3-year starter, coming off knows the playbook from front to back. Everything you want a defensive player is right there.
I tell you, Ross, I played middle linebacker with him freshman year, and he knew the whole dang playbook as a freshman. There's no way I could start over him because he knew exactly what he was doing. Not only was he better at football than playing football, but he still knew everything.
Aurora second down. Looks like there was a penalty on Aurora, pushing him back a few yards. Drawing back to throw.
Going out left.
Hit after thrown by Al Chavez.
Well, we get this first look, this drive on the Reed Spring defense. We'll line them up for this week, shall we? At middle linebacker, we have Ben Moeller and Preston LeHue. At outside linebacker, we have J.T. Bailiff and Matthew Allison. At safety, we have that big boy Seth Stamps making big noise back there. And our corners, quarterback Blake Gromvold and wide receiver Cole Watson. Our defensive line consists of Al Chavez, big boy Tony Leal, another big guy, Grant Clark, you talked about him earlier, and Brandon Aiken stepping up this week playing defensive line.
Yes, very much so. There was a penalty on the play. It was roughing the passer. Quarterback had the ball out of his hands when he was hit by Al Chavez.
Yeah, you got to watch them. Just like you see in professional football now, they're really cracking down on these roughing the passer penalties, trying to protect those quarterbacks. You got to just keep an eye out.
That resulted in an automatic first down as well.
Quarterback back to pass.
Scrambling.
Scrambles left. Wrapped up tight.
By J.T. Bailiff.
Good way to wrap up by J.T. He did not let that boy get away from him.
Very good run. You know, number 12, he's run a few plays. He looks like a really downhill runner. Hard to take down, but right there, J.T. steps up and is able to bring him down.
Yeah, you'll like to see that. I know we're talking about the Aurora Hound Dogs here, but you'll like to see that out of a running back or a quarterback for that matter when they run north and south. The more production you can get north and south, the better, because if you just run sideways, you're not going to get very far, Ross, especially in high school football, when blocking is not quite on the level it is in college and professional. You need to run north and south and just get the yards while you can.
They will measure this to see if it was a first down or not. They will give him the first down on that play right there. Hopefully, one game we came into overconfident was the Catholic game. So, could we maybe see similarities to this game? Because I know we came in very confident.
Well, Ross, I mean, we have a lot of players on this team that I talked to them this week, and they said, yeah, they agreed. They said that this might be a little bit of an easier matchup. But I had to remind them, I reminded them, I'm sure their coaches remind them every day that every team can step up and make something happen against you anytime if you just don't watch your back.
There is another flag on the play. It looks like it is on Aurora this time instead of Reed Spring.
That would be a legal procedure against the Hound Dogs. Aurora lining up for the snap. With a tight end out to the right. Completed pass out to the right for the Hound Dogs. We have, you see there, Tony Leal playing defensive end. He's usually up the middle. Maybe they're trying to make some noise off the edge this week with a bigger guy on the outside of the defensive line.
As we've said, Cameron Essick is not in that line anymore. So somebody's going to have to disrupt that. Maybe they're seeing what's going to happen. I feel like this last regular season game, they'll try players in the positions like we've seen, really for next year.
Not just that, but I was talking to Coach Barr, our defensive line coach. He said he's going to rotate some more guys in as the game goes along because really we got to get ready for the postseason, as that is what we're going for all year. That's the